G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the content on my channel. If you missed part 1 of the rotary table build, there's a link up there now, you can go watch it first. Now before we get into this one, I just want to tell you that this may be a shortish video. I did end up with the flu and I've been battling with it for a few days now. So it'll just depend how much I can get done before I need to publish this on Friday. So follow me over to the bench and we'll see what I'm up to next. Alrighty, so after all the dramas I had machining up one of these bloody plated things, and I did buy a second one, and that'll just now become a base for something, I don't know, hat rack or whatever. I lashed out and I bought this painted version because I don't want to go through the dramas I went through with that one. And I've very smartly this time been through and checked to see how central that hole is. Now it is a lot better on this one. It goes 90.5, 90.8, 90.7, but then jumps out to 91.35 out here, so it's not too bad, I suppose. Now there's no way I'm going to machine this one up to the extent I machined that last one up. Get it out of the way. What I'm going to do with this one is just face that off, get it reasonably flat. Now I'm not going to machine it down to the same diameter that I machined the other one down to, because I want to actually machine two flats down two sides, and that will become apparent later as to why I want to do that. In one side of this, I've bought these. Now, these are one of those, it looked a lot bigger in the ad kind of things, but it's probably just as well it is as small as it is, because I won't have a lot of room in between these two discs. So the plan will be to, in this face, this one will go up, and I'll make a bush. Let's push that out of the way for a second. I'll make a bush that will fit into here with that pressed into the centre of it, with enough clearance for this to hold it out so that this clears the base there, because I really want this surface to make contact with this surface here, so it's load bearing. So we'll have load bearing surface all the way around the outside and around the centre, so hopefully there'll be enough thickness in this so that it doesn't flex and carry on. Anyway, so I'll make a bush up, I'll push that onto there, Loctite it, maybe put some grub screws in it or whatever to keep it in place. Like I said, that'll hold it just off the surface of that, enough so that this has clearance. And then in this one, this has a recess in here, so I want to machine a recess into this face so that that will sit in there and locate. This will be fixed. I've got to go and find another piece of plate yet to bolt this to, and this one will rotate inside there, so I want it to locate basically in that section there, so it keeps it firm. And I'll also machine up another little bush that comes down inside through here to locate in there. And on the back side, I want to machine a recess in here to take a big round disc that will screw onto a shaft to allow me to get rid of any play out of it, and to rotate freely in there so it can't pull up. But anyway, that's the plan. This whole mechanism's been keeping me awake all night. I'm having trouble sleeping as it is with the flu, but that one kept me awake for a long time last night. But anyway, yeah, I kept wondering, I kept thinking I don't really want to be running steel shafts down through here. I kept thinking, where can I get another piece of cast iron from? And then it dawned on me at about 1 o'clock this morning that I could buy a little cast iron dumbbell and machine it up out of that. Alrighty, following my concerns that the 10mm shafted tool I had in there may have been deflecting, I bought a new 10mm or 12mm shaft tool, and this one I already had chopped down to a shorter one, so I've just turned the shank down to 10mm to fit in here. Then it seems to be cutting better and not squealing and carrying on as much. Now I've already made a few cuts in here in an effort to try and centre this better, so I don't end up with that horrible wobble that I had. That's not too bad now, so this may well be the last cut. I have a feeling I just stuffed that up. I think it needed to open up in 1/2 mil, and I think I just wound this in 1/2 mil. Yes, I did. Bastard. Oh well, it fucking falls in there now. Well, considering I don't have too much to take off this compared to the other one, I think I might just grip it in the chuck and hope it doesn't fly out on me. Either that or machine it before I put it in. I'll machine up another one of these to put in there. Well, I've got to say, this is a whole lot better than the last one. Not too bad at all. So it shouldn't take too much cleaning up with a bit of luck. Alrighty, didn't get too far before I had to shower and down the clinic for another wasted hour on a bloody nebuliser. And I've come home and I've got the bloody shakes from it, so, and it's a bit late to be doing any more today. I'm a bit peeved that this thing is as round as it is on the corners here. I wish it was a little more square, but I don't know that I need to get really sharp corners on this one, so I'll take a bit more. I might get it down to about here somewhere, but that's a job for tomorrow now. Oh, look, I can't. Shaking, I can't get rid of the shakes, and I don't want to be working like that. Oh, I finally got this down to the diameter I was chasing, which is a 10mm bigger than the other one. I've still got these damn radiuses on here. I might end up having to machine a lot more off one side of this than I would like. She still runs out a fair bit, those round edges the way they are. This side's not so bad, but this side wobbles around a fair bit, so I might have to trim that side off and try and get a reasonably sharp corner on it. They're chewing through tips like there's no tomorrow. These, I'm glad I bought these ones here, because I don't know if you can see that. It just, there's a hard spot on each edge, and it just chews the end off it. Not been able to get under about 350 RPM's not helping. But anyway, so that's the outside done. I'm going to lose about 4 hours tomorrow morning. I've got to go and have a bloody medical to get some new health insurance, because I'm over 65 now. It's amazing, you turn 65, you become a decrepit old bastard. Anyway, we'll get on with this. Alrighty, so I managed to clean this face up a fair bit. I had to take an awful lot off here before it even started to touch this. And I don't know about this, I tried to dress the outside up with this file a bit forward. It did not like it at all. Look at the bit of the file. Hard as ob's hell. Yet you can sand it, but that'll take a lot of sand to get that out of there. Anyway, so the problem is I've now run out of those little sharp tips, and I've got 2 packets in order, and a bit of luck they'll get here tomorrow, otherwise it'll be the day after, because they've used the worst delivery company available here. Anyway, so be it. Well, viewers, I haven't done a damn thing for 3 days, and I still feel crook. Still feel all clogged up. Took way too long for these new tips to get here. They finally got here late yesterday afternoon. But anyway, I just can't sit around doing nothing, so I'm going to put mask on and I'm going to machine this side off. We still haven't done shopping this week, so they've been so crook. So let's do this before we go out and do some shopping. Well, it hasn't lasted long before it started playing up. I don't suppose you want to sit through that, it just takes too long. Funny part about this feeling crook is I actually managed to pass that physical the other day for the health insurance with flying colours. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I get a bit close to getting this done. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with this thing, viewers. I mean, the reason I switched these painted ones was so I don't have to chew through that hard chrome or whatever it is. This thing is so hard, I chewed through one tip almost straight away. So, and then I had a vague recollection of watching someone machine cast iron, and they were going on about a hard outer crust, and that they grind it off. So I took this thing out and ground that face off, and it's made the world of difference. Alrighty, so you probably noticed there's a bit of sparking around here because I didn't grind that edge off. It's still a bit hard, and a bit around the edges in here. What I've decided I'm going to do with this is remove this whole step off this part here, and then machine the centre section round and use it as a locating boss in the lower plate. I don't want to take any more off this face here now because I don't want to reduce the thickness of this, but I'll keep working away until I get rid of this, so it's got a nice sharp corner. As soon as I've got a nice sharp corner, then I will stop machining it. Well, that's that part of it done. Finally got through it. I've used up a lot of tips to do it. Take she must be obeyed shopping now, and when I come back I will machine this section here until that's perfectly round, so I can use that as a boss. Sticks out a little bit, doesn't stick out a lot, but it sticks out a bit. That should be enough just to use it as a boss to align it in the centre of the lower plate. Alrighty, what normally takes about an hour today, it took bloody 2 hours today. Traffic was so bad. Jumping around everywhere. Really shitty finish on that. I think I've lost the tip off it again. Just as well these things are cheap. I am burning through them. There we go. Let's see if we get a better finish out of that. Alright, chamfer on that outside edge. Alright, so the next step will be to machine a recess in here for the big nut that will retain it all. I might switch the boring bar for that. Alrighty, so I've had a bit of a test cut there and set some parameters for what I want. I'm going to go in there 10mm. I'll make a couple of cuts and then I'll bring you back when I'm getting closer to the end. Alrighty, so that's that. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my patrons. Their support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description below. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. Every little bit helps. If you don't become a patron, there's also buy me a coffee down there in the description. Or you could click on that thanks button down there and drop me a couple of dollars there. Like I said, every little bit helps. Right, now so I'll put a chamfer on here, and then this thing will be flipped back around. Basically the same thing done on the other side, only it will be machined out to fit this, so they will sit down inside on the other side. Alrighty, so we'll flip around. I'll chamfer that, and then I'll flip it around and I'll get on with it. Alrighty, so this morning I've blued the two surfaces here without bluing this one to make sure that when they were sitting together they were actually touching, and then worked out how deep I need to machine this. So I've got to go in 10.5mm, which doesn't leave much of a lip in the bottom there. It doesn't matter because I have to machine up a piece that fits in the centre when I'm done here. But anyway, we'll make a few cuts. I'll do what I did on the other side, make a few cuts, bring you back when I'm closer to the end. Well, that's that. So give me a moment, I'll get this out of here and we'll go over the vise and I'll tell you what's coming next. Alrighty, so that fits down in there, and what is to come next is, I bought this the other day. God knows what it's like. It could be anything like this or like this, who bloody knows. But anyway, what I'm going to do is cut it in half so I can turn this round and grip that, and then maybe knock a bit off the ends, turn these round. The first thing I'm going to make up is a bush that fits down into here, that will fit in there, right, and hold that just off the bottom of there by 100th of a millimetre or 10th of a millimetre, something like that. Now, in order to drive this thing with this, what I intend to do is, once this is bolted to the plate below it, middle section out of here, so that will sit in there like that, just enough to get that in there, and then I will make a bracket up to bolt to here to hold the end of the shaft, and mill a slot across here, probably just a shallow one. Drill a hole through the outer edge here to get into it. But remember what I said, I want to mill this flat here. And the reason that I want to mill that flat is I want somewhere to be able to bolt a bracket to for mounting all the bearings and everything for this. Well, I think that's going to have to do us for this week. So join me next week and we'll get into doing all this stuff, machining all this down. We also have to make another bush like the one that goes in here for up in here, so that it can sit into there as well. I think I was going to go up with this one in that way, but I think I'll put it down in the bottom of here because that's a bigger hole. But anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.